A couple of years ago, in the year 2019, there were 4 teams that won over 100 games. The Astros had the most wins at 107, the Dodgers were second with 106, the Yankees third with 103, and the Twins with 101, coming in as the 4th best record in baseball. So what about the other 2 teams that won their division? Well, the St. Louis Cardinals made a late push to squeak out a division win over the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Atlanta Braves won their division by winning 97 games. The Astros are arguably one of the greatest and most dominant teams of all time that season, having an incredibly dangerous lineup, a good bullpen, and a rotation that featured 2 Cy Young contenders, and I'm not even talking about Zach Greinke. The Dodgers had the National League MVP on their team in Cody Bellinger, an elite lineup as a whole, and an incredible starting rotation. The Yankees and Twins were both stacked in their own ways, and the postseason was going to be an absolute crapshoot. Who was going to the World Series? Who was going to win the World Series? The Astros, Dodgers, Yankees, Twins, Braves, Cardinals, the Rays, who won 96 games, and the Oakland A's, who won 97? Well, none of them. It was the Washington Nationals. Yes, the team that I haven't even mentioned yet because there really was no reason to going into October of 2019. Sure, they had a solid team, but were they as good as the 107-win Astros, 106-win Dodgers, 103-win Yankees, or any of the other postseason teams other than the Brewers who they faced in the wildcard game? No, they weren't. Take a second to like this video, and if you're new to the channel and end up enjoying this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button for future baseball content. If you had picked the Washington Nationals to win the World Series going into the 2019 playoffs, you would have been called crazy. If you had picked the Washington Nationals to beat the heavyweight teams of each league and the Dodgers and Astros en route to a World Series title, you would have been told to stop watching baseball because you don't know anything. The 2019 Nationals are one of my favorite World Series teams ever. Why? Because they taught us all a lesson. One, to never give up. To always keep fighting even if your back is against the wall and everything seems bleak. Keep going. To wake up every single damn day and not think about the future but to win that day. Go 1-0 every day. That was their mantra. And that's what this team did. They started off the season 12 games under 500 in mid-May and made the postseason just months later. In every elimination game for the Nats that year in the playoffs, they trailed at some point in the game. Every single one. They were losing to the Milwaukee Brewers with 2 outs and the bases loaded before Juan Soto lined a base hit off elite reliever Josh Hader, which turned into an error, which led the Nationals to their first ever wildcard game win. In Game 4 of the NLDS against the Dodgers, they would trail 1-0 after the first inning and score 6 unanswered runs to force a Game 5 in LA. They would then be losing in that Game 5 in LA, only to hit back-to-back home runs in the 8th inning off Clayton Kershaw to tie the game before Howie Kendrick hit a grand slam to get the eventual winning runs home to win the series and beat a Dodgers team that won 14 more games than they did. After losing by 1 through 4 innings in Game 6 against the Astros in the World Series, Nats would score 6 unanswered runs to force a Game 7. Game 7 in which they trailed 2-0 in the 7th inning before Anthony Rendon went deep, Juan Soto walked, and then Howie Kendrick hit the foul pole and right to give the Nationals a 1-run lead that would turn into a 4-run win, bringing the first ever championship to DC. It was incredible. Steven Strasburg won World Series MVP, winning 5 games and pitching to a sub-2 ERA all postseason long. Max Scherzer was a horse. Juan Soto was flat out incredible. Trey Turner, Anthony Rendon, Ryan Zimmerman, Adam Eaton, Howie Kendrick, Daniel Hudson, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on with how many clutch and out of nowhere players contributed to this World Series title that came by upsetting 2 incredible teams that won 14 and 15 more games than they did in the regular season, respectively. As of now, as we stand in 2021, well, so many of these incredible players and teammates who helped in some way, shape, or form to bring a title to DC are now not there anymore. 2020 was a bad year for the Nats, just flat out terrible. They had pandemic issues, the team just wasn't good, and they missed the playoffs by a whole lot. It was a shortened season that had no fans, so whatever, you move on. But this team hasn't been good in 2021 either. The pitching has been bad as the rotation has been a massive disappointment along with most of the bullpen, and they never had too strong of a lineup to begin with. Anthony Rendon left to sign a big monster contract with the Angels before the 2020 season, and has quietly been pretty bad there since. Howie Kendrick hung up the cleats for good after 2020. Adam Eaton went back to the White Sox only to get released and picked up by the Angels, and reliever Sean Doolittle signed a 1-year contract for the 2021 season with the Reds. This year has been a really tough one for Nats fans, especially as of late. Max Scherzer is now gone, and so is Trey Turner. LA to join the Dodgers as if they weren't stacked enough. The man who closed out the 2019 World Series, Daniel Hudson, has now been traded to the San Diego Padres. And as for Juan Soto, he's not going anywhere, at least as of right now. It's been made pretty clear by the Nationals front office that the left-handed superstar outfielder is the one untouchable piece on the team. And frankly, that's the right way to go about it. As sad as it may be for the fans and even for me, and I'm not even a Nationals fan, blowing it up somewhat is the right move, especially considering where the team is in the standings. It's clear that they aren't going anywhere this year with the guys that they have, and with someone like Max Scherzer becoming a free agent after the 2021 season, you have to go out and get future big league pieces for him. Same with Daniel Hudson, same with newer national Kyle Schwarber, and same with even Trey Turner at this point. The Nationals farm system in future just got a whole lot better on Thursday night before the trade deadline, getting 4 minor league prospects from the Dodgers, 2 from the Padres, and 1 from the Red Sox. It's sad, at least for me and of course the Washington Nationals fan base, but the plan needs to be to start building a young, lasting, and good team around Juan Soto, who they should be giving a big payday to any day now, by the way. From the 2019 surprise World Series champions with tons of contributors to most of those contributors now being gone, the downfall of the Washington Nationals is real, but it sure isn't the end. Maybe for 2021 it is, sure, but the Nationals could be a good team again very soon, and that starts with locking out the one big guy you have left, Juan Soto.